Hi, my name is Anthony Principano. I'm a senior consultant with a company called Ambit Energy, and I just want to start off by saying thank you for taking the time out of your day to view what I believe is one of the greatest and interesting opportunities out there today. And I know that's a pretty bold statement, but I do firmly believe after you allow me to share some information with you about an industry, a company, and an economic opportunity afforded us by Ambit Energy, that your opinion may be just like mine. Why my wife Karen and I started our very own Ambit business. Karen and I reside in New Jersey. We have three wonderful children. Our eldest child is autistic, so as parents, we are the sole provider for all his wants and needs. Greatest concern we have, there will come a day when we're no longer around, that responsibility will fall onto our two other children. Karen and I will always make sure that we will have something in place for the children to draw off, not to have to go into their own pockets. We saw this opportunity, and we took away from this opportunity with three things. One, something we could build over time. Two, it had no exposure to the financial marketplaces. And three, most important to us, we could will this to the children. So whatever we built would be part of our estate. Why would you start your very own Ambit business? We can look at this list, quite clear what these items are, but I just want to draw your attention to the last one, financial freedom. Prior to seeing this opportunity, I, like many other people, felt that financial freedom was someone who had a significant amount of money in the bank and could pay all their bills. It's really not the case. True financial freedom is having enough money coming in every single month to take care of all your monthly obligations and not have to work for the money that month. So something you do one time, you get paid for over and over again, and it takes care of all your monthly obligations. Now, everything you earn above your monthly obligations is wealth, and wealth is what enables you to do anything else on this list. Well, here's the agenda. We're going to talk about the company, the industry that is truly recession-proof, a product, what it means to be a customer of Ambit Energy, and then we're going to spend some time talking about the opportunity itself. This is the vision statement by our CEO, co-founder Jerry Thompson Jr. to become the finest and most respected retail energy provider in America. When you walk into Ambit's offices in Dallas, Texas, it's the first thing you see on the wall, and what's beneath this is even more powerful. It says, "Never sacrifice integrity for growth." This slide was very, very powerful. It meant a lot to me. And it's one of the slides in the presentation that I kind of made a mental note and filed it away. Why Ambit is the right choice. Founded in 2006 in Dallas, Texas by Jerry Thompson Jr. and Chris Chambliss. Just to give you a little bit of background, Jerry's family has been in many businesses through many generations. Just to give you a little background. Jerry worked in an ice house as a small child that became the Southland Corp, which today we all know as 55,000 7-Eleven. So he's the grandson of the founder of 7-Eleven. Also on his own, he created a company called Caprock Communications. What Caprock Communication did was laid fiber optic cable throughout the southwest part of the country. He started that company in the 90s, got it to a $300 million annual revenue, and sold it for $500 million. But prior to starting Caprock, he was approached to be a seed investor in a franchise that was going to rent videotapes, and he opted to pass on that because he felt at that point in time that people would be watching movies in their home by means other than renting a videotape. So he passed on Blockbuster Video to do Caprock. So smart guy, visionary, and think about it, in 2013, how do we watch movies in our homes today? Chris Chambliss he's our chief marketing officer, was part of a company called XL Communications. That was a company that was created in the mid-90s, and what they did is they sold long-distance telephone service in the southwest part of the country. Chris was part of the team that created the compensation plan for that company, which created 1,500 millionaires, and that same compensation plan is the plan that's used today by Ambit Energy. Fortune 500 executive team. One other person to mention, John Burke, who is our Chief Technology Officer. His prior place of employment was Verizon. John is well regarded as one of the top CTOs in the country, and high growth experience, especially on Chris's end. XL, in just over 7.5 years, became an annual billion-dollar revenue company. Awards and recognitions, just going to talk about two of them. Direct Selling News, 14th largest direct selling company in the world in 2012, Ambit was named. Put in perspective, you're talking about a company that's in business 6 years, is in business in 9 states and Washington, D.C. When you look at number 1 to 13 in business, an average of 50 years, and especially number 1 Amway and number 2 Avon Products, doing business in over 100 countries. So to be behind an average of 50 in tenure and only be in business 6 years says a lot. And where is Ambit going to be when they're in business 25, 50 years? The other one I want to talk about is right in the middle, Inc. 500. In 2010, Ambit was named the fastest growing private health company in America. Ambit is the only direct selling company to ever make the Inc. 500 list and the only company to ever make the list 3 years running. So they made it again in 11 and 12. Other accolades: 1.2 million loyal customers, an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, over $1 billion in annual revenue in less than 7 years, on par with companies like Groupon and Facebook and Google that accomplished that in less than 7 years, and take a company as successful as Microsoft, who didn't have their first billion-dollar revenue year to being in business almost 10 years. And in 2013, Ambit will pay out over $100 million in commissions to independent consultants. This was a press release in the May 15th Wall Street Journal, basically saying that Ambit Energy is named the world's largest direct seller of energy and the 8th fastest growing on the Global 100 list. And I just bolded out the third paragraph that just substantiates everything I talked on the slide before. Talk about the industry now. The window is open. Energy monopolies are broken up. Governments come to the incumbents that we've known all our lives and said, you need to make a choice, either supply or delivery. Well, of course, they're going to choose delivery. They've built out the grid. They own the grid. They service the grid, and that's what they do best. Customers have the right to choose their energy supplier and how much they pay for it. Similar to gasoline. You really don't care who drills the oil out of the ground and refinery. What you care about is the brand you buy, and more importantly, how much you pay for it. Well, when it comes to gas and electricity, you have that same choice. Timing is perfect. This is a process that's just beginning. 28 states in the country are in some form of deregulation. The rest of the country still hasn't even begun the process yet. How big is the opportunity? Well, let's look at the entire opportunity. If you look at all 50 states, we spend $475 billion in the supply of our gas and electricity. In the states that are orange states that Ambit does business in, we have access to $64.7 billion that has to change hands. We have access to 48.2 million customers that use the service of gas and electricity. And the current market share that Ambit has in those orange territories is less than 3%, which means 97 out of 100 people have never heard of Ambit Energy, and a good part of those 97 people probably have no idea deregulation is taking place. How it works? Well, let's talk about how it used to work. The incumbents that we know own the generation plants, and they delivered the gas and electricity to our homes, charged us as much as the government would allow them to charge. But today, those generation plants have been sold off to the big energy companies, and retail energy providers like Ambit have exclusive agreements with those energy companies, and their instructions are to deliver the gas and the electricity through the same pipes and wires that they always have been delivered to your home. So in changing your supplier, nobody comes out to the house and puts wires, pipes, and meters. Absolutely not. The same grid that you get your electricity on today will be the same grid you get your electricity on tomorrow. Service, what it means to be a customer. For customers, it's the perfect product. Everyone uses it, and we all use more today, more so than ever. I mean, everything we buy today, we open the box, the first thing you do is you take out a charger. And what do you do with that product? Most likely, charge it every single night. No cost to switch, whether to become a customer or leave Ambit Energy. There's absolutely no fee to join, and there's no cancellation fees on the way out, should you choose to leave. Nothing changes for the customers. I told you before, the infrastructure that you receive gas and electricity on today will be the same infrastructure that you receive it tomorrow. And the only thing that's going to change two things on your bill. One, you're going to see your supplier is Ambit Energy now, and two, it's going to be cheaper. For business owners like Karen and I, no inventories. The incumbent takes care of, they hold all that. No deliveries, they deliver the energy to people's homes. Collections, no collections, we don't have to worry about that. You still get the same bill you always get, one bill. And there should be two more things on here. No employees. Karen and I are the only employees in the company, and there's no risk to this business. Savings and benefits, great savings, competitive rates. Ambit is competitive and less in every state that I've seen. And what they do in New York basically is they guarantee a 1% savings. Satisfaction guarantee, that's that orange logo. Should something happen on the day that they're switching your service, Ambit will be more than happy to pay for your first month's worth of service. Greenie Energy certified, should you choose to receive your power from windmills and solar panels, that's an option. Welcome gift for just enrolling. Certificate good for 3 day, 2 nights stay in 40 hotels around the country. Again, just for trying the service out. Monthly travel reward points. Every time you pay your bill, you get 1 point for every kilowatt, 10 points for every therm. The only difference between this and the credit card is the credit card you have to spend extra money to earn the points. Here you're basically earning travel reward points for paying your utility bill. Customer referral program. This is the thing that differentiates Ambit from everyone else. All customers receive a free website. What would you do with your website? Well, you could look at those travel reward points as they're building up. You can check out your consumption. But more importantly, you get your first bill, you're saving money, the points are building up, and you start talking about it to friends and family members, and they say, wow, that sounds awesome. How can I get involved in something like that? Well, you'd forward them your website. They key in their information, where they live and everything else, and get the rates and sign up. And should you refer 5 customers to Ambit, what Ambit will do is they will give you a choice of exciting travel package. So instead of having to accrue travel reward points, because you brought 5 customers to them, they're going to compensate you for bringing 5 customers to them. Should you find an additional 10 for a total of 15, what Ambit will do is take the average that those 15 spend and apply it against your bill every single month, as long as you maintain 15 referred customers. In terms of numbers, let's look at it. You spend $150 in your supply. The 15 folks that you referred spend an average of $175. You would get free energy because they would apply a credit of $150 to your bill, and all you'd have to pay is whatever the delivery is to the incumbent. On the other hand, should you spend $175 and they average $150, you would have to pay only $25 for your supply. And this is every month. This is not like, the $50 Visa card for referring a customer. No, this is whatever they spend versus your number every single month. Here's an example. This is my personal electric bill. It's Karen I's electric bill. As you can see on the bottom left hand, there's a yellow arrow. Our customer referral credit was $186 for the month. So instead of having to spend $226, all we had to do is pay for $39 for our supply for that month. And again, this will happen every single month. You receive the average of your 15 referred customers. Just to put it in perspective, the savings of energy in your home versus gasoline, look on the bottom. This is what we're all very familiar with, saving money on gasoline. So, quarter a gallon, 4 times a month by 15 gallons. In 10 years, you can save $1,800. Now, if you go up to the top and even say to $150, if you saved $150 a month between gas and electricity in your home, you'd save that same $1,800 in 1 year, what it would take to save 10 years in your car. And let's be realistic, nobody's giving you a quarter off a gallon. What they're giving you is a nickel off a gallon, and in 10 years you're going to save $360. So people will drive a mile out of their way to save a nickel, and in the end, in 1 year, they're saving $36. But something like this that's available to them from Ambit can save them thousands of dollars a year. Okay, so everything I've spoken to up until now is strictly about being a customer. So it doesn't cost anything to be a customer. All customers get websites. All customers are eligible to travel reward points. All customers can get the energy credit up into free energy. We're talking about a company that has, within 7 years, is $1 billion company in revenue, has over 1 million loyal customers, an A+ rating in the Better Business Bureau, and has 2 phenomenal leaders. The marketing model. So let's talk about it. You, meaning either us consultants or customers, gather a handful of loyal customers, refer them to the service, generates income to Ambit. Ambit Energy in turn pays it out as residual income to a consultants, or in the form of travel packages and or energy credits. So it's the non-traditional marketing. Traditional marketing is mailing, cold calling, and or knocking on doors. Ambit doesn't do anything of that because it just doesn't work. People throw the stuff they get in the mail in the garbage. They don't answer the door to strangers and never pick up solicitors. So they rather take that 15% or whatever it is of the advertising budget and put it in a pool and either pay it out in compensation and or free energy, because the customers that we gather are friends and family. Those are loyal, sticky customers, and that's why the customer retention rate is in the high 90s. Personal relationship. We recommend stuff every single day. Music, movies, restaurants, TV shows. These 4 companies were created all on recommendations. So for these recommendations we make every day, We don't get paid for them. Here we can make a recommendation on a utility bill to pay less for it, and we can get paid for it in many different ways. So we're talking about a company, again, once again, $1 billion in revenue, largest retail energy provider in the world, $1 billion in revenue, run by two phenomenal leaders. And to open up your own franchise is a one-time fee of $429 with no annual renewal. Some opportunities that are product-based, when they come out with a new product, you have to make an investment. You have to spend money. You have to acquire inventory. This is a one-time fee. So in the remaining states, the Ambit starts to open them one at a time. We're not paying that. They decide to go to Canada, Europe, where else? We're not paying any incremental fees. It's one time and there's no renewal. What you do have, since you've operated a franchise, you have monthly overhead. That monthly overhead is $24.95, and that pays for all your technology that you need to run your business. This is a totally paperless business. The Power Zone is our back office where we answer all our questions. We get any information that we need to provide people out of the Power Zone. We can see real time as customers are joining our business, as people are joining our teams. Should we have any questions about where we service, what the rates are? Everything can be found in the Power Zone. What else it does? It does our projections for our monthly commissions. To the left is AmbitU, and AmbitU is the website with all videos regarding different ways of doing the business, to talking to people for different things, I should say, such as how do you ask somebody to look at the opportunity, how do you ask somebody to be your customer. These videos are very short and to the point, 5-10 minutes, done by all the top leaders in the company, but it's the way that you learn how to do this business, how you plug into the system. Down at the bottom right hand side, why Ambit works, and Energy 526 is not there, but that's another video. These are videos that are not exactly the same format as this, but they generally go through the industry, they go through the company, they go through the opportunity. It gives someone enough information to either decide whether or not they would like to move forward and have more discussions about something like this. But that's the great part about this business. You sign up, 10 minutes later, you can go knock on your neighbor's door and say, hey, listen, I found something really exciting. It's very visual. Please don't ask me to explain it. You know, put on a laptop, type in URL, plus the play button, and like that, 10 minutes later, after signing up the business, you're able to show somebody else this opportunity. The benefits of owning your own business: flexible schedule. Everyone starts this part-time. You pick out as many minutes or the time of day that you want to do it. Just be persistent and be consistent. Incredible tax benefits. I've been a W-2 employee my entire life. This is all 1099, so we're paid out at the gross level. You deduct all your expenses, and in the end, you pay tax on the net. Unlimited income potential. We'll get into that. 2 questions. What's in it for me? That's the why. I explained Karen I's why. You have to decide what the fuel is that you're going to put in the Ambit vehicle. And the fuel is the why. Can I do it? That really should say, will I do it? Because we do some very, very simple things. We do 2 very simple things. Gather a handful of loyal customers, the people we know, love, and trust, and help others do exactly the same thing. So just remember this. Remember these 2 things: gathering a handful of loyal customers and helping others do the same thing when we go through the next bunch of slides. So how do you get paid? Well, you join the business, and with Ambit Says you have to get 5 customer points. Well, they're going to give you 2 points for setting up your Power Zone. You become your own first customer, neighbor to your left, neighbor to your right, sibling, family member. But once you get your 5 points, within the first 4 weeks, you earn $100. During those same first 4 weeks, should you acquire 2 more people to save money on a bill that they're going to pay every single month, you get an incremental $50. The following 4 weeks, find 3 more people that want to save money on a bill they're going to pay every single month, and you earn another $100. And in the following 4 weeks, for every 5 customers that you sign up, you earn an incremental $50. So, 12 weeks, you've signed up 28 customers, you've gotten $450, and oh, by the way, 15 is the magic number. You will have potentially, if you're in gas and electricity, you could have energy credits in both utilities for your home. That's the first way we get paid. Okay, so 526, that's the DNA of our compensation plan. 5 we just talked about. That's the 5 personal customers, 2 consultants. So now you're going to talk to other people and you can show them the opportunity. So you show your friend the opportunity, they look at the video, makes all the sense in the world. Well, they sign up, they get their first 5 customer points. They're going to gather a handful of loyal customers. When they do that, they get $100. You get a matching $100 because you showed them the business. You show it to another friend or family member. Once they get their first 5 customer points, they get $100. You get a matching $100. So again, gather a handful of loyal customers and help others do exactly the same thing. So now we're going to work with those 2 people, and they're going to go out and show the opportunity and try and find 2 personal consultants of their own each. And then when the team reaches a total number of 6, you're eligible for your first promotion to a leadership level of regional consultant. As a regional consultant, you're going to personally sponsor 2 people, in which now you're getting a 55% raise. You're going to get $155 for those you personally sponsor. And the only difference now is for everybody that they sponsor into the business, when they get their first 5 customer points, you get $55 to unlimited levels. When your regional team grows to 18 members, you now promote to a senior consultant. As a senior consultant, you get $235 for those you personally sponsor and $135 to unlimited levels for those that they personally sponsor. And that's just basically once they get their 5 customer points. The senior consultant is where Karen and I are, and we're looking to become executives. And in order to promote there, we have to help 5 people become from marketing consultant up to a senior consultant. So the thing is, we are very incented to help you be successful. Your success is the most important thing to us, because unless you succeed, we get no benefit. We can't do this on our own. This is not a one-man band thing. It's about helping others. So as the seniors, once they promote to an executive, executives $315 for those you personally sponsor, $215 for those they bring in. And again, the executives looking to become nationals have to do the same thing. They have to help people promote from marketing consultant up to executive consultant. Nationals, $340 for those you personally sponsor, $240 for those they bring into the business. These are team builder bonuses. These are intended for you to build scale and leverage in the business, because again, everybody's going to gather their own loyal customers. So you will have hundreds, thousands, tens of thousands of customers in your business over time. But the only thing is, you're not going to go out there and gather them all on your own. So now we get into another very important slide in this presentation, and this is the monthly residual income. We're going to go through this grid, which basically starts off with yourself joining the business, and you find 3 people for your team. We'll work with those 3 people and help them replicate that. Those 9, and we'll help them replicate that and do the progression 7 times. You'll have 3,279 people in your team. Now, in order to get paid at all 7 levels of compensation, you have to have 20 personal customers. So for this exercise, we're going to sit there and say that the 3,279 only are going to gather half that. You're going to gather 20 because you want to get paid out at all 7 levels. They're just going to gather 10 on their own. So you've got 32,810 customers. We get paid on band usage. Band 1 being a small 2-bedroom apartment, band 5 being a small commercial or very large residential property. So on the 15th of every single month, you would get paid $39,189 in residual income based on each MC gathering only 10 customers. Now you say, well, that's great, that's fine. There's people in here in this company that if they only receive $39,189, they would be pretty livid, wondering where the rest of the money is. But for this exercise, we're going to take it down a level. We're going to sit there and go back and say, okay, remember that first Jumpstart bonus? The one where you gather the 3 customers and you get your first $100. If everybody did that and they only gathered 3 customers, got $100 and did nothing else, you would still have a monthly residual of $11,758. Not bad. And again, filling out the grid, this is not going to happen overnight. This takes a little bit of time, but it's realistic. It is very realistic. And if you notice, I just want to point in the middle of the band 1 column, as you get down to level 6 and 7, is where the payout really starts to pick up. That's what it's all about. We never stop helping people that join our businesses. There's no point where we look and say, well, I don't have to help that person. No, we are incented to help people at all levels that you continue to grow your business. So now what happens levels 8 to below? to the bottom. Companies thought about that and they've got these residual bonuses. Now, if you remember the first slide, the first 7 levels, you get paid the band usage. On top of that, you're going to get a quarter. So if it was a nickel plus a quarter, you're going to get paid 30. That's up to level 7. And then level 8 and below, you're strictly going to get a quarter for every gas and electric bill. So every customer that you joined your regional consultant business, you're getting band usage plus quarters for the first 7. Levels 8 to the bottom, a quarter. Customers that join your senior business, you're getting band usage first 7 levels plus 50 and 50 straight up to the bottom. Executive, 75. Nationals, $1. So think of this as your own personal toll plaza. You know, the person collecting the tolls may not be the happiest person in the world, but I'll tell you what, the person that's emptying out that toll booth at the end of the day has a big smile on their face. Now, just to give you some perspective on how powerful these quarters are, Brian McClure is the top income earner in Ambit Energy. He earns in excess of $500,000 a month. In August of 2013, his residual check was over $332,000, and a good part of that was made up of these quarters. He has in excess of 600,000 customers, and if you just conservatively put 150,000 each of these silos, how quickly these quarters add up. So why Ambit works, just to close it. But I'm going to take a step back, just give you a little bit of something to think about here. So, you know, take yourself today from 2013 and go back to 1995. What you know today, take it back with you. And somebody walks up to you and says, listen, you know, I got an opportunity for you in long distance, and I got a company, AT&T Wireless, I've got T-Mobile, I've got Sprint, I've got MCI, whatever, pick and choose. And now you know, taking that knowledge back with you, and somebody says you're going to get band usage, band 1, somebody that really doesn't talk on the phone, band 5, somebody that never hangs up, and plus you get quarters, you sit there and say, great, you know, everybody's using the phone, everybody has a phone, everybody's going to pay a phone bill. No problem, it's a utility bill. People pay it every month. No, I'm on board for that. This is no different. You know, we think everybody has a cell phone. Well, I'll tell you what, everybody has an electric bill, and most people have a gas bill on top of that. And all those cell phones, they're being charged as part of the electric bill. So why Ambit works? Service, not a product. Absolutely. I'm not a multi-level market person. If I had to sell a product, if I had to convince you that you needed to use something, or I had to convince you had to spend an extra $100, or I had to convince you that you had to ship it out every single month, it's not for me. This is a service. It's not a product. When we're talking to people, people already use our service. The only question is, would they like to pay less for it or get it for free? Power of part-time. When we started this business, I was still a managing director at Goldman Sachs. Did not have a lot of time for this, but what I did do is I had plenty of time to listen to people. Whether it was in my commute or we were out and about, I would just listen to people talk, and if they would talk about whether they wanted to buy, how to buy another car, fund a college education, they're afraid of their retirement, and I would just say, listen, do you keep your options open? I have something that's very interesting. Give me 30, 40 minutes. May or may not be for you, but at least just take a look at what I have. Lucrative compensation plan, you saw the residual, you saw the team builder bonuses. If you need it to be 500, 5,000, or 10,000, you know what you need to do to get those numbers. Perfect timing, once again, 3% is the penetration rate that Ambit has. As far as the states, 28 states are in some form of deregulation. We're just in the infancy stage of this whole thing. Really the main thing here is only 3% market share. There is so much upside for Ambit. It's ridiculous. Proven system, similar to any other franchise. When you go into a franchise, you're intrigued with the success they have, and what are you going to do? You're going to emulate that success. You're going to do exactly what they do to be successful as them. This is no different here. We have a proven system. The videos are in Ambit U, and you just follow what folks did that were extremely successful in front of us, and it works. It's proven, and it works. I mean, they're not going to pay out over $100 million to people that don't work a system. There's no way you generate that much commissions if you didn't have a system that worked. Get started now. You see it, it makes sense, it's something you want to do. Join up now. Get started. Become your own first customer. Take control of your financial future. If there's something that you don't have that you want and you don't have the vehicle to get you there, well, this may be the vehicle. You know, there's people that have a lifestyle and then have a desired lifestyle. You're not going to get from the lifestyle to the desired lifestyle if you don't do something different. You got to change. Something has to change. You have to step out of that comfort zone, step out of that box. And this is a great and unique opportunity. Here's a quote from someone who knows a few things about money. For those who recognize it and get it, they will find themselves positioned at the front end of energy deregulation across America, sharing in the greatest transfer of wealth in the history of America and riding atop an income-generating tsunami. Put in perspective, telephone deregulation, $86 billion had to change hands. Here, $475 billion has to change hands. Here's Karen and I's contact information. If you saw this video or for another website, this is our contact information. Please, the most important thing in this whole process is to get your questions answered. Should you have any questions, please contact us. Our cell numbers are there. That's the preferred way. You know, you can email us, but you know, we're not averse to people just calling our cell phone. But if somebody forwards you this link, please get back to them. Make sure you have your questions answered. If you're going to make a decision, it's an educated decision. Make sure you have all your questions answered. That's the most important thing in this entire process, is having any questions answered. Again, thank you very much for your time. Have a great day.